Good evening. Thank you very much indeed for turning up and supporting us tonight. My name is Fergus Williams, and I run the charity of which this dinner is in aid of, Walking with the Wounded. I'd like to introduce you to your host tonight, the Lady Mayor.
A very warm welcome to all of you here, Your Highnesses, Your Excellency, Lords, Ladies and Gentlemen, Members of Parliament, fellow mayors, fellow councillors, our corporate guests, and dear friends and loyal family. Welcome to all of you. We have two messages tonight. One is from Prince Harry, which Fergus will be telling you about, and the other is from the owner of Chelsea, Roman Abramovich, who sent me a very lovely letter saying that he was proud that Chelsea was supporting this because he's particularly keen on helping wounded ex-servicemen. He has a charity of his own in Russia which does just that, and so he wishes us all the very best and wishes that he could be here, but he can't. Nevertheless, Chelsea has been brilliant to us, and I want to say a big thank you to Chelsea. Thank you very much. Our aim, as I think you all know here tonight, is to help the wounded servicemen in a transition into a new way of life. And I think the South Pole Challenge demonstrates both how to us and to themselves just how much a wounded person can achieve if they put their minds to it. Those who also deal with injury, which include, of course, the Chelsea footballers, and they also include racehorses. My friends Xenia and Nikolai will know all about that. They have to deal with injured racehorses, and you have to understand them really well. The point is that there's a secret ingredient in all of this, and I think you know what it is. It's courage and trust, and that will take you through many a great thing, but particularly injuries when they're being dealt with and healed. Now, what else was I going to say to you tonight? All sorts of things. I want to say a big thank you, of course, to my team. Pauline Lyle-Smith must be the best mayoress anyone ever had. She's very intelligent and very quick to spot little things that need to be done, and she's a real workhorse and a wonderful person. Thank you very much. And I then have my two consorts, Edouard de Guiteau, who is probably best described as the most generous person I know with his own time and with his energy. And Caroline and his children have been very patient with me because they've had to share their time they expect to have for their father all by themselves, and they haven't had it because there's always something going on with the mayor's thing. So thank them too very much. My other consort is Prince Mosim, who I think our chess grandmaster might agree he's unique, wouldn't you say, Ray? Definitely unique. And he's also very original. And he has a lovely little phrase, which makes you prick up your ears when you hear it. He says, "I have idea." And when the idea comes, you say, wow, what a brilliant idea. He's full of them. And great fun to have around. Thank you, Prince Mosim, for all that you do for us, too. And Priscilla Larder has more or less single-handed hoovered up all the wonderful prizes for the raffle, and I do thank her very much for that. It was absolutely brilliant of her. She's a genius at it, but nevertheless, this time I think she's excelled herself. And what I think you want to know, you've got some little cards in front of you, and you've got raffle prizes and things on the back of it, with the auction prizes on the front, probably under your plate. But the interesting thing is that Barclays Bank, who I'm thanking very much for their help, and twofold really, because the raffle money, they are going to match fund. I'm not sure if it's all the way up to the top, but I hope it's good and high, because that will double. If you put a tenner in, it'll be 20. If you put 20 in, it'll be 40. And what you can win will be worth hundreds of pounds, so if you have a look at the back there, you'll see that it's quite a special thing to do. Now, I also want to thank, of course, the other corporates, my special friends Westfield and St George's, who have joined in the transformation of this borough. I think we're very proud of what you've done, and we're proud that we have led this great transformation here. And we have Nicholas Botchell, who is the leader of the council, and also the deputy leader, who's called Councillor Greg Smith. And I have to thank him for lending his skills in design and in producing your programme and the little card with the auction lots and the menus. Thank you, Greg, very much for that. And of course, Visibility, who printed it all for free, because I came and opened a few of their shops, we made friends, I brought them lots of clients, and suddenly they wanted to do it as their offer tonight. So that was very kind of them. Don't need to clap everybody, because you'll probably find you wear your hands out. But I think there's another special thing you're going to find. On each table, there will be some fine bone commemorative mugs, and they're made by William Edwards, who designed, I may say, for no less than Prince Charles, as well as us. And I'd like to say a big thank you to Sabrina, who does deserve a clap, because she's designed them and made them and given them. So thank you very much. She's here on the Parker Lloyd table with her father and with PM Shah, who again are great supporters of Walking with Wounded, and I'm very impressed and delighted with the things that you've done to help us. Now, Barclays I have to thank on two counts, because we also have Barclays Wealth here. My cousin Will, who has brought his very senior colleagues here. I see you over there. Welcome to you, and thank you for coming. Our great auctioneer is Nick Carter, and he has donated his time again, which is very super of him. I'd like to thank him too. And, well, I think one of the two that really count are Eater and Keith, my little team in the mayor's office, my PA and my driver. They're more than that. They're everything, and they've worked their socks off with me. They have quite a time keeping me on the road just as mayor, but when I throw a bash like this, that really does test us. So thank you very much to Eater and Keith, and they do deserve a big clap. So it's now nearly time for the wine, fun, and the glamorous singer. They are Tech Music School, and they've just moved into not the borough, but into my ward. And they are really an extraordinary bunch. I've heard them play, and I was most impressed with them. They're young, they're exuberant, they're drummers, there's a glamorous girl, and I think that when you're giving parties, you might think about inviting them too, because you wait and see what they're like. They're pretty terrific. So now, I think I'm going to say, eat, drink, and be merry, and please, very generous too. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more thanks to the Mayor herself, who is a ball of energy. And if anybody knows her well, you'll concur with that. And also to our team, Eater and Keith. They've done a wonderful job putting on tonight. And this is a very special relationship that we have with Hammersmith and Fulham. And I can't thank the Mayor enough for what she's done. Just a couple of housekeeping points. On your tables, there is a glittery bag. In a few minutes, I'd like to start proceedings with a little game of heads and tails. I hope most people know how to play this. I'm sure you will have in the past. If you could pass around the bag and put a suitable note into the bag, and in a few minutes we'll play heads and tails. And just to say that the live auction, or not the live auction, the silent auction is up and running, and you have keypads on your table. Thank you very much indeed. If you would like to either choose your head or your bottom. Sir, no, your own bottom. Okay, selection done. Here we go. Everybody with their hands on the bottoms, please sit down. Hey, stand. You can't hear? Okay, stay up. Okay, round two. Take your positions, heads or bottoms. Lady Luck says, everybody with their hands on the head, sit down. That wiped the floor out. Okay, we've got about 20 left. Let's see how many more we can knock off. Heads or bottoms? Everybody with their hands on the head, remain standing. Okay, we're down to the last 6 or 7. Heads or tails, take your choice. Everybody with their hands on the heads, remain standing. Here we go again. Heads or tails? Everybody with the hands on their heads, sit down. How many have we got left? Identify yourselves. 2? Do you want to come up? 3. Come up. Right, we've got 3 left for the lucky winners. What I haven't told you is the prize. The prize is a kiss from me. Okay, take your places. Heads or tails? It's a heads. There it is. It's all over. Name? Peter. Peter is the lucky man tonight. There it is. There is something. There we go. Thank you. A bottle of champagne for his pains.
Looking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy, then my only worry was for Christmas what would be my toy. Even though we sometimes would not get a thing, we were happy with the joy the day would bring. Sneaking out the back door to hang out with those hoodlum friends of mine. Ooh, read it out the back door. Boy, didn't I told you not to go outside? Trying your best to bring the water to your eyes, thinking it might stop her from whipping your behind. I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? 'Cause I love them so. Do 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 do. pause for candy after church is through. Smoking cigarettes and writing something nasty on the wall. You nasty boy. Teacher sends you to the principal's office and down the hall. Ooh. You grow up and learn that kind of thing ain't right. But while you were doing it, it sure got out of sight. Oh, it sure stays good. Come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? 'Cause I love them so. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Can I just introduce you again to the Mayor?
Hello, this is going to be very short and sweet because we're getting up to the climax of the evening any minute now. I did want to say, now you've had a chance to see what the conjurer can do, did you see the special trick he invented for tonight? Because I did, and I haven't a clue how he did it. I cut something in half, and all the papers were blank except the bit I cut at random, and it was a special design of the logo, and it had a particular card in it. So I think Marco's pretty clever, and thank you very much, because he too has donated his services tonight. So thank you, Marco. And amongst my new friends, I wanted to mention an amazing time I had with Irene. Now, they design and construct various projects, but where I met them was on the Great River Race, and I went as their passenger, but you know me, I'm not going to be a passenger really, so I turned into their cox, cum photographer, and I managed to take some amazing photographs, a video of my own knee and a bit of some oars and things splashing around in the water. It was all absolutely chaotic, but such fun. Had the time of my life with them, and thank you very much for supporting me tonight. I really appreciate that very much. Thank you. I won't keep you anymore. I'd like to pass on to Fergus, who I think has got a few more things to say to you.
You could try that again if you like. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much indeed for turning up tonight and supporting us. It means a huge amount to see a room full of people with lots of good wishes and support. So thank you very much indeed. The Mayor has been amazing putting this together. Her team has worked tirelessly, and I thank you, Lady Mayor. Some or all of you, I hope, know what we do. Walking with the Wounded is a charity set up to assist the wounded servicemen retrain and re-educate and find employment outside the forces. And that is really the heart of what we try to do. It's about jobs. And I want to be counted about the jobs that we deliver to the servicemen. There is an expedition that is setting forth to the South Pole. It is going on the 20th of this month, and it's a race. 3 teams: a British team made up of 4 wounded, an American team made up of 4 wounded, and a Commonwealth team made up of 4 wounded from Australia and Canada. It should be an epic race. We designed it to be appealing. We designed it to capture the imagination. But the stars of the show are actually the wounded that are doing it themselves. The selfless determination and courage that they show in adversity is quite humbling. I would urge you to participate and engage with the expedition. It will be quite a show. I have a message here from our patron, Prince Harry, which I will read. I'm very sorry not to be able to join you tonight to celebrate the work of Walking with the Wounded, but I thank you for attending. Walking with the Wounded continues to champion our extraordinary wounded service personnel and highlight their determination and courage to face the future challenges following injury on the battlefield, whether physical or cognitive. Their inspirational expeditions have already impacted so many, and I hope they will continue to impact many more. I'm delighted to be part of the Allied South Pole Challenge, this ambitious project. Not only will this involve wounded personnel from the United Kingdom, but there will also be a team from the United States and a team from the Commonwealth. This means awareness created will be global, and not only shows the tenacity of these young men and women, but also the strong links between our allies, off the battlefield as well as on. The Allied Challenge promises to be quite a remarkable endeavour, and I urge you to get behind the expedition and support the walk. Now, some of you may have heard that Prince Harry broke his toe. It's true. It is not a publicity stunt. I'm not that clever. But he is still going to be attending. The teams leave on the 20th of November, and it will be a 3-week trek to the South Pole. But the key bit, I mean, that's all the glitz and the gloss, but that's not really what the charity is about. The charity is about taking those that have been disadvantaged by their service to you and giving them a better future, supporting them into jobs because they can no longer continue to serve in the army. They joined the army as 18-year-old soldiers, and some of them, unfortunately, are not able to continue that chosen career. And I'm really happy and pleased that I'm able to assist and help them transition out of the army and to find them employment on the outside. And that, in effect, is what we're about. Now, just some highlights. Last year, we've only been going since 2010, so last year we helped 136 people. This year, we've engaged with 450 wounded. Of that 450, we've got 130 secured employment opportunities, jobs. And 70 other positive outcomes. Now, I'm not terribly PC. I don't really know what a positive outcome. I'm told it's good news, but actually, I would have been measured on jobs. And I think just over 34% of the people we've engaged with this year with jobs already is not a bad stat. I'd like to show you a couple of videos. The first one on the South Pole.
In 2011, 4 wounded servicemen achieved the impossible by successfully walking unsupported to the North Pole. In 2012, 5 wounded servicemen courageously challenged the world's highest peak, Mount Everest. This year, the stakes are raised. A new challenge has been set. 4 organizations have combined for a united global endeavor. Servicemen and women from 4 nations, the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, and Australia, will embark on an epic race to one of the most inhospitable places on Earth, the South Pole. Wounded in service to their country, these allies will now represent their nations in a race unlike any other. Each will need to overcome not only their injuries, but gale force winds, freezing temperatures, and 335 kilometers of grueling terrain. It will take more than courage. It will take more than determination. It will test them like nothing before. These 3 teams will show that beyond injury, beyond adversity, our wounded can achieve the extraordinary. Support your nation. Support your team. Support the walk.
Yeah, it should be quite a show. There's a couple of firsts probably in there. The first double-leg amputee to the South Pole. The first prince, well, certainly the first British prince, we hope. And the American team has a blind guy in it. That itself presents amazing challenges because although physically able, he can't do anything for himself without the support of his team members. And it's about creating a team to deliver these expeditions, or it's about creating teams to deliver employment opportunities. The second video is something we cut with one of our bursary awardees who was in the parachute regiment, and he's now a teacher.
Walking with the Wounded was formed in 2010 to raise awareness of our wounded men and women. Since then, the organisation has grown significantly, helping hundreds of our young men and women who have been injured in conflict back into work outside the military. For them, leaving the armed forces and stepping into the civilian workplace is very daunting, and we're able to provide them help and support in their hunt for a new job. These are people just like Private Dan Majid.
I'm Dan Majid, and yeah, I got injured back in 2010. My right hand had been paralysed from sort of shoulder down. I couldn't move my fingers, I couldn't feel it properly. A week in hospital, week and a half in hospital, and then they released me. That was quite a tough time because I was expected to go home and look after myself when I only had the use of one of my arms. I wasn't sure on what I was going to do afterwards, but Walking with Wounded have helped me get onto a teaching course. They've helped fund it, and I'm now working as a teacher, doing a job I love. I think you should support Walking with the Wounded because it's a great charity. It raises awareness, it helps people get onto courses and into training and into jobs that they want to do, that they wouldn't necessarily be able to do without the help of Walking with the Wounded.
I did ask Dan to shave, but he sadly couldn't be here tonight. It's a school night, and he's a teacher in Leeds, and frankly, getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning on a train is I let him off. However, I have brought somebody here who we funded. It's a great success, but importantly, he represents something else, something that maybe we don't think about when we talk about the wounded, and that's those that were injured in conflicts past. Hugh was injured in Bosnia, physically, but the key bit, and I'll let him tell his story, is there is a cognitive side that is unseen, and that is probably our biggest issue going forward. Those that have psychological issues because of their service to you and to us, to their nation. Hugh.
Wasn't it? Right. Excuse me if I'm a bit nervous. I haven't done any public speaking ever, I don't think. Okay. Thank you, Fergus. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I'm amongst friends anyway, so thanks for making me feel nice and welcome. As Fergus says, my name's Hugh Forsyth. I joined the Royal Engineers at the age of 16, fully expecting to do 22 years. And I specialised working with the high-risk search teams looking for improvised explosive devices. Did 2 tours in Northern Ireland doing that, and a tour in Bosnia with the mine clearance teams after the war. Sadly, I fell off a roof in Bosnia and damaged my spine, so I couldn't carry any gear. I couldn't operate as a soldier. I was medically evacuated back to UK and then medically discharged from the army. I did a 2-week course in fibre optics and told to just go away and get on with it, basically. I found this very difficult. I was married. Within 18 months, my marriage had broken down. I continually broke down, had mental breakdowns daily. And in 2005, I went to combat stress and they diagnosed me with post-traumatic stress. And I basically had 4 major traumas that had been affecting me since the age of 18. So, I mean, the worst point was that I attempted to commit suicide in 2001. Very dark time. But with the help of combat stress, I got balanced. But I was just surviving. I couldn't go to the shops, I couldn't travel on the tubes, I couldn't drive in the city. I was scared of backpacks, people, crowded spaces, very, very frightened of everything. In 2012, a friend of mine introduced me to a lady called Sun Tui, who runs a program called Dare to Live, which is a program that does psychological retraining for people with post-traumatic stress using horses. Within 3 days, my outlook on life had completely changed, and I haven't looked back since. Sun Tui, thank you. Sun Tui spotted my potential as a horse whisperer, which I now do. I think I'm getting there. It's a work in progress. But I had to retrain because I didn't have much of an education before I joined the army. Walking with the Wounded stepped in and said, you know, we could help fund you to become a facilitator. And now I am training to be a facilitator. I'm doing a degree in equine facilitated human development, thanks to Walking with the Wounded. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to money. Which is a sad fact of life, but I mean, I'm eternally grateful for that. So I am now the operations manager of Dare to Live, which 18 months ago I would never have dreamed of doing. I was sitting at home as a stay-at-home dad. I'd accepted that I was retired, injured, basically just took my lot and accepted life. But now I've got a completely different outlook. I've got a lust for life. I'm springing out of bed every morning. I can't wait to be with the horses every single day. And I'm now the point of contact for any other servicemen who are suffering psychological injuries, which to me is very, very important. So I would like to thank Suntui for spotting my potential and allowing me to work at her farm. Most of all, though, I'd like to thank my wife, because the women who live with soldiers are the ones who really put up with all the, I won't swear, S-H-I-T. And so I'd like to thank Tina. Love you loads. So basically, yeah, I've got a life back, and thanks to Walking with the Wounded, Santu, my wife, Polly. I don't really know what to say, but life is good, and I'm really happy about that. Thank you.
Yeah, Tina has done a wonderful job. And it's really important to look at the family unit and to hold those family units together. Fair to say that was the horse's mouth, the whisperer. And I'm really pleased that, you know, just writing a check out for his training has been responsible for him turning things around and getting on track, which is wonderful. Hugh, well done. On to the fun and games. Nick Carter from Lots Road Auctions has very generously agreed to do the live auction tonight. I think there's a card in front of you with the lots for tonight. I would ask you, of course, to be generous. I will hand you over to Nick. The silent auction is still going on as well on the keypads. there are a couple of other firsts that Walking the Wounded tried to achieve. Table 15. At the South Pole, we're trying to do the first live broadcast from the South Pole with a double-leg amputee and a prince. Here tonight, we have a live broadcast going on. TVapex TV have very kindly agreed to film this and put it out live on the internet on afextv.com.
I'm Dr. Suhail Chuktai. By profession, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. First of all, I'd like to say a very good evening to a galore of very important, notable people here. And I think it's a wonderful gathering. It's great to be here. TVapex has been a project of mine. It's out of passion, and my background of technology has helped me put it together. And I'm very grateful for support of the Lady Mayor, Prince Mohsen, and my great friend and senior advisor to Imran Khan, also here, Sahibzada Jahangir, very supportive of me. The project, what it does is it comes to these events like this. We connect you to community. People who are not here, they like to watch. They like to know what you're doing. But there's a lot of commercial cost involved. So we cut down we don't charge for events. We come down and we cover events and connect such intelligent people sitting in one place to others who wants to watch them. So you're being watched live at the moment. I think so far the count was around 4,300 when I was sitting over there, have watched this event so far, and it's growing. Because our social media person is campaigning for this event and taking the message further. So your message is going across far and wide from the boundary of this place. And I think it deserves that. And in the last year, we covered around 430 plus events in UK of multicultural nature. So we connect communities together as well, not just come and do event filming. And now the live part of it, you're just being watched. Whatever you say, so be very careful, it's being watched. Thank you very much. I'm very thankful to Sahibzada Jahangir Saab, and I really appreciate it. Without his support, I like to come and say a few words because I'm so indebted for his support. Please.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? All around the room, thank you very much indeed. I'm Nick Carter. I'm your auction. That's it. Who was that? Who wolf whistled? Was that you? You, ma'am, or the? No, it wasn't. It was you. I can tell. I can see the cheeky little smirk on your face, ma'am. It was definitely you. And you're actually all the ladies are very pretty on that table. I was about to say you're the prettiest, but no. You're not, you're all very pretty. I've been told to stop flirting and give you 5 minutes. That's the lady that said sex in my ear about 2 hours ago. But anyway, there we are. So yes, I'm Nick Carter. I'm your auctioneer tonight. I'm the auctioneer at Lots Road Auction. So how many of you here are my clients? Put your hands up. How many of us see? Yeah, that's what we like to see. Lots of you. Lovely to see you all here. I'll briefly just tell you, I'm not going to spend too much time telling you what's going on, but very briefly, there's going to be different people spotting around the room looking for you, and I'm going to come out amongst you as well. If anyone is the successful buyer of a lot, I'm going to ask you to stand up and take a round of applause, because somebody's going to come out and find your details from you so that they can extract money from you, okay? So we'll ask you to take a round of applause, and do it. Stand up. It's worth it. It's a very, very good charity. I'm here tonight. I'm asked to be here by Francis. I don't charge for these events, none of them at all. I do a lot of them, but I only do them because I actually quite like them, and I like the people that are at the events. Otherwise, I don't do them. That's it. End of story. So I'm expecting you all to dig very, very deeply for this very, very worthwhile charity. And before we crack on, I just have one question to ask everybody, and I do need your attention for this, ladies and gentlemen, and that includes you, the very pretty lady there with the short blonde hair on table number, what table are you? 2. Are you married, ma'am? Anyway, don't know. Anyway, so table 2, lovely lady down there. So I do need your attention for this very important question. Could you please put your hands up if the person sitting next to you is extremely wealthy? Now put your hands up if the person next to you is more wealthy than you. Oh, that's interesting. Right, so, anyway, right, we're ready to go. We've got lot number 1, which is dinner and wine for 2 at Mossyman's. Enjoy gastronomic meal inspired by the taste of the season with appropriate wines for each course, courtesy of Mossyman's, who are lovely. They support a lot of charities in the area. Is anyone from Mossyman's here? Yes or no, if they're here? You are. Well, round of applause for Mossyman's. Eaten there many times. They're lovely. Right. Everything's here to sell, so I'm going to start the bidding off. Here's your opportunity to buy a gastronomic meal for 2 with wine. Who's going to bid me 50 quid? Who's going to bid 50, 60, 70? What about 80 at the back? 90, 110. What about 20 now? 120, 130, 140 I've got there, 150, 160, 170, 160, 200. 200's bid with a gentleman at the back there at 200, very happy looking gentleman at £200. What about 220 now? You're at 200, 220's the ladies bid. What about 240, sir? 240, 260, 280, 300? 300 now bid. I've got 300 with a gentleman there. 320, ma'am? Do you want to bid me 320 here? No. What about 320 there, sir? £300. It's yours at the moment, sir. Who wants to bid me? 320. I've got it. What's your name, sir? Trevor. Trevor. Round of applause for Trevor. Trevor's bid me £300. I've got £300 with Trevor. 320's now bid. It's the ladies' bid at 320. Where's Trevor? 340. 360. Do I see 360 anywhere now? I've got 340 here. 360, ma'am? All the money's going to go to the charity. Nowhere's going anywhere else. And it includes the wines. Thank you very much. I'm at 340. 360, ma'am, you sure? I'm at £340. Let's see enough. 360's now bid, sir. 360. 380, Trevor? 380. 380. 400. 400. 420. 420. 440. 460, Trevor? 450's bid. Trevor's bid me 450. 460. What's your name, sir? Philip. Philip has gone for 460. Round of applause for Philip. Are you out? You're out. Trevor's out. So it's Philip's in at 460, which seems a bargain to me at 460. Anyone want to bid me 470 now? Yes? Yes? Is that a yes? Yes, at 470. 470. 480. 490. Are you sure? It's Phillips again at 480 otherwise. Anyone want to go 490 now? Phillips going to buy it at 480 once, twice, 3 times. Going to Philip at 480. Well done. That's Philip at 480 on table 13.
Thank you very much inviting me. What a great evening that I must congratulate today to the Apex, and also the Dr. Suhail and his team. And at the moment, the big auction is going on for the charity. Once again, I must say how happy I am, and on this special occasion of charity, wounded for the soldiers, and arranging such a great charity do. And there were so many mayors and journals, ambassadors. This was a mixed gathering. And I must say, the credit goes to Dr. Suhail, Apex and his team. They're really, they're progressing to an extent Now they slowly they became well known within the country. And I remember the other day, even the Prime Minister of this country has acknowledged about the Apex. And I must congratulate again and thank you for the team and thank you for the Dr. Sohail. God bless you all.